zumza mreza pinyita kabeza Zimbabwe akipeta irega atimbo irega nati Zimbabwe nyika yedu sakati zikuzumza mreza pinyita kabeza Zimbabwe.
We say thank you for the opportunity to chat over our country essentially. Yes. It's not about me, it's about Zimbabwe.
Absolutely.
And when you say presidential ambitions, would I describe what I'm thinking of doing as an ambition, the answer is for me, the reason why I'm agonizing over it, why it's taking me time to think through, it's because I am seeing a country and I'm seeing a people, our people, who are in a space where they shouldn't be. A space which I'm convinced is totally avoidable. So for me, it's a challenge and a project born and a frustration born out of just a circumstance which I think is unacceptable for our people. So it is not an ambition. It's not something I'm sort of saying, oh, I would love to do this.
So it's something that has come about because of your observation of what's happening on the ground. And is that why you appear not to have a hunger for the role?
Absolutely. I don't have a hunger as like in ambition. I feel that I can absolutely contribute to resolving the challenges. As can many other Zimbabweans. When this project, if this project goes ahead, we'll find Zimbabweans who've got capacity, who are willing to come and join and say, let's do this as a project and get it done, because we can.
So the role of the Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Zimbabwe?
I think it's a bit unfortunate. I know it's a title or expression that exists, Commander-in-Chief. But I think a lot of bad things happen because of the mentality that goes with that kind of phrasing.
Right.
Because I think Commander-in-Chief tends to lead to people ruling rather than leading. And the reason why this is really important is that a government, when you look at how society functions, when society is working well, government does not do things for people. Government creates an environment within which people do things for themselves. That way, every individual can contribute. Because government's resources come from what other players do, especially through the fiscus, through taxation. If the individual, the entrepreneur, the employer, the employee, all of a sudden, all these people are sitting and looking up to government to say government will do, where is the economy going to grow from? You have to release the energy. And Zimbabwe in particular is so lucky because when you look at our parents, no matter how uneducated they are, they put all their resources into educating their kids. They understand the value of education. Zimbabweans always do things for themselves when you create the circumstance for them to be able to do that. They don't.
Why would it be important for someone like you, if you chose to be the president, to be in that seat?
Because like I've just said, it is the lever or the platform that makes everything else happen. Most African cabinets, from my observation, are not teams. The way they are structured is on a bilateral basis. So each minister has got a relationship with the president, not with his or her colleagues who are the team members, which is what it should be. In fact, when you're running a cabinet properly, each minister is executing a role on behalf of the total team. The term team is borrowed from team sports for a good reason. When you go onto a football field as one of 11 players, you don't play your own game on your own.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You play as part of that 11 in a well-orchestrated strategy where each one of you depends on what all of the others do. And this is clearly understood. You've got a role, but it's a role as part of a whole.
Your name, who gave you that name? And what are they like? What kind of things did they do to shape you?
My parents. So my parents obviously gave me the name.
Okay.
My parents were, my mother is still alive, but my father is late. We were peasant farmers as a family. We grew up as peasant farmers in Berengwa, as a lot of people now know, Makuba, Berengwa. My parents were hardworking people, one day, very hardworking. First thing in the morning, you'd wake up and go to work in the fields.
Okay.
Then, waenda paruwalo, etwaleni, and they wash and then go to school. This was a routine which was like the way I breathe air. It's just the norm. That's
what time did you get up?
Well, I mean, I didn't even ever watch. So
before sunrise.
Before sunrise, you know.
Okay.
So normal routine. But as a result, we felt we were in control of our destiny. But one thing which for me defines my childhood is that I did not feel that I needed stuff. I was well fed. Yes, I did not have shoes and stuff, all the other things I'm told, not television, you know, but I did not feel that I was deprived. Sometimes when I describe that childhood, people often confuse it with hardship. I actually do. It's a lifestyle.
One of the things that I'm particularly saddened by is the dependency on aid.
I don't believe that you can have a sense of self-worth when you're depending on what other people do for you entirely. I think nobody is saying you cannot have people assist you, but assistance is supplementary. It is not the foundation. So I do for myself, and where there is need, the same way that if I'm an entrepreneur, I'll use my own capital, but then I can top up by going to the bank and borrowing money. But the bank will never give me money to fund a project 100%, whether it's a country or a family or an individual. Your self-worth is going to come from how much of this are you doing for yourself? How much are you doing for? How much do you own? What is the connection between you and effort? And I think we've been led, unfortunately, again by leaders who have become, I think, lazy, to put it mildly, who actually embarrassing us. Because if you go to investment conferences and you see a whole head of state behaving like a beggar, what does it communicate to the people who follow behind?
It is. And your name, Nkosana, what does it mean?
Nkosana literally means prince. Nkosazana is princess.
Okay.
Nkosana is prince.
And Moyo?
Moyo, as you know, is heart.
Is heart. So, are you Ndebele?
No,
because you spoke some Ndebele a little while back.
So, I come from the Midlands.
Right.
And you will find that most people from the Midlands are bilingual in that sense. You grow up speaking both languages.
So you're fluent in Ndebele?
Oh, yeah, fluent in both Shona and Ndebele.
So let's move on. I wanted to talk about electoral reforms. Yeah. What's your take on electoral reforms?
Yeah, but I think you have to start from a different place. Because I think when you're talking about reforming a system, firstly, what is the concept? I think the issue is democracy. Do we as a country want democracy?
Of course we want it.
Do we have a distorted form of democracy? We need to have clarity of where we want to move to. So that I think if you go back to the struggle, what did we fight for? We fought because we were being treated as not full members of the society of Zimbabwe. How we articulated that. A lot of the ways or the facets of what we're saying are to do with the democratic society. Do we have it today? I would say it's not just electoral processes. There are a lot of other things about our society which are not democratic. So I would say it goes without saying that there is something to be fixed to genuinely create a democratic society in Zimbabwe. And electoral reforms are only part of the way our army behaves, the way our soldiers behave, the way part of the judiciary behave is not democratic.
No.
A lot of these institutions, which are supposed to be national institutions, have been subverted and captured by a political party. The evidence that I have to date says, everywhere I look in the developing world, heads of state who come through a partisan system end up running the country for the party, not for the citizens.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So
and that's wrong.
For me, part of the challenge is, when I have this conversation with people and friends, they start saying, oh, but it cannot be done, we are not ready, it's never been done before. I'm a scientist by training, and so my nature says, the fact that it's not been done before does not mean it cannot be done. And remember, if I may quote from former President Mandela, he said, it always looks impossible until it's done. We need to go back and look back in many ways. Look at our struggle and look at what our struggle was about. Have we delivered something that is faithful to that struggle? The answer is no. We've done an animal farm. And we need to go back and look at every single aspect of how we run our society and invest in moving it into the democratic space, including the electoral process. I've already described to you the issue of team and the lack of understanding of what a team is. I also disagreed. We became fixated at the time when I went into government, which is 2000 to 2001. And I remember that's when we got to the height of the land issues. I think we became fixated with rewriting history as opposed to creating a new Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, there are only 24 hours in the day. My view is always that if you're not careful and you get sucked into trying to fix the past, then you deprive yourself of the time and the resources to build the future. Yeah. And I think that's what we got sucked into trying to fix the past. And I just fundamentally say this is not the way to build the future. And I think the evidence, so many years down the line, 16 years down the line, speaks to the fact that I said this is not working. The other issue for me was, if you're going to be in government, what is being in government really mean? What is it about? Is it a job to support myself and my family, or is it an opportunity to serve my country and my community? I put it in the latter category.
Right.
Being in government should be about service to the community, service to the country, as opposed to looking after my personal interests. Yeah?
Yes.
But when you look today, and if you were to go and do your own examination and look at our government and look at the ministers and tell me what service to you, to the country, to any Zimbabwean citizen they are actually delivering. I'm a scientist, I observe the facts on the ground. What service is our government delivering to the people, for the people? When I drive in Zimbabwe, when I drive on Zimbabwean roads, the police don't protect me. The police use me, they suck my blood to sustain themselves.
Well, that's it.
And we need to change that.
Okay. To a lighter issue.
Yeah.
What are your hobbies? Your top two.
I would say that work is a hobby for me. It may sound strange,
Yes.
but I think I've been lucky all my life. I've tended to find work all absorbing because I tend to do things that really interest me. Yeah? I would say the second hobby I would put on the table or on the list is reading. I like reading because I'm always exploring. I want to understand how the world around me